Good afternoon, everyone. This is Voices from World Citizen. I'm Karalu, host for today. Today, I'm with Jazzpur. We are at his home.
Yeah, it's like home studio, but more like home.
Yeah. And Jazzpur has quite an experience, and I didn't know too much details, so let's find out together. Hey, Jazzpur.
Hi, Kara.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Super good. Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
Sure. My name is Jazz. Well, let's say my name is Jazzpur. So, my best friends will call me Jazz because I love jazz music, and my worst friends they call me Purr, like a cat is purring. I'm working sort of in the creative industry. I'm doing more like graphic design and animations and videos for clients, and I'm also working on some art projects. As a side project. I find it's quite fun to do. So and I currently live and work in Shanghai.
I heard you have a quite long gap year. Like normally people take 1 year as gap year. You have 3 years gap year, right?
It wasn't necessary. Well, technically speaking, gap years, but I tend to think them as gap years. So after graduation from college, I briefly worked in Shanghai Expo, and then I went for internships and works for jobs in the United States and Europe for 3 years. So I would consider those 3 years as a sort of like culture experience and gap years. I didn't professionally. I didn't do much.
What I define that gap year is more like a year or a period of time which you discover yourself. Like also not necessarily take break, but more exploration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened? What impressed you the most during those 3 years?
It is true. Well, it's true that there was like exploration. But I would say it's not. For me, it's not like internal exploration. It's more like external. So before that, I've never been to the United States, never been to Europe. I just wanted to explore as a young adult and just try to see and try to live in that environment, in that region of the world, and interact with different kinds of people and also work there. It helped me to build a whole picture of how the world is like.
What is the most challenging thing during these 3 years? I mean, in terms of cultural differences or culture shock?
Not eating Chinese food. Well, that's not as challenging.
Okay.
but
that's quite practical.
It's a thing, but it's not difficult for me. Of course, I have to deal with languages, and I need to speak language, and then I need to figure out things and how to do certain things in certain country and follow their rules of doing things, like how to go to the doctors and how to order a car, things like that. Yeah. I would say it's quite smooth, quite smooth. Not much difficulties.
Is that because, I think maybe there's some quality of yourself, which smooth this, culture differences possible? Because I always find you a very open-minded person.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, seriously, and quite, fun, flexible, as well as, I guess you are also very respectful.
I was more like a chill person, just chill and never. Yeah. What helped me, what could help me to smooth the whole experience is probably because I'm a language lover. I like to learn different languages. So even before I went out overseas, I started to learn several European languages and Japanese, and I think language contains a lot of thinking in it. It's not just a language. There's
logic.
culture, the logic way of doing. Since, for example, there isn't a certain word, there is not a translation in another language. So it helped me to like think in a different kind of way. So when I was younger, I did it more often. I still do it now, but when I was younger, I would spend maybe half a year just thinking in one language because I was learning that language in the moment. I will try to talk to myself in that language for a certain period of time. So it helped me to like think in that language, and it actually changed the way
of your thing.
Yeah. And I find myself being in different status or different mood if I shift to another language. Maybe, I could be more expressive if I speak English, and I could be more shy if I speak Chinese, and I can go crazy if I speak Spanish and enjoy the party. Fiestas.
And like for these 3 years, what is there something you're mostly appreciate for? Is there anything still in your mind or remind you all the time?
What I learned from most is the tolerance that you have. I just feel that there are good things and bad things, and there are good things from this culture and there are bad things from this culture as well. So my approach to try to be a better person through time is to pick the good things from different culture or different people and use that things and make that and turn that in internal so that it becomes you. It becomes your quality. Or sometimes it's not necessarily like good things, it's just something you appreciate. Like I will probably appreciate some drinking culture. Drinking is not necessarily a good thing, but it's something that I picked up and I like it a lot. So
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And I also see you are doing some installation. I was very impressed about the installation you just showed me.
Yeah.
Like, would you like to also explain the philosophy behind? I really like the concept.
Yeah, what I just show you, it's a recent project that I was working on. It's called iCubes. Well, iCubes is of course is opposite to eyeballs. We all have like eyeballs. They're because I noticed all like eyes are almost like spherical, and nature almost never produces like cubic forms. So cubes are sort of like artificial, and I want to just do do eyes of different animals and human as well in cubic forms. They're really cute. Like they're like elastic, and I use silicone rubber. What I want to tell from this thing is that we are the prisoners of our own sensation, of our own biological body. So sometimes, so what if we just we just shed the husk, shed our skin, and fundamentally change the biological builds of our body, and try to see from a different perspective. One of the inspiration that I did is that we humans just part of the world, and there's also other animals over there, and they experience the world very different from what we do. For example, like eagles can see super clear, much more details than human can do. While some animal can see the ultraviolet light, and some see the infrared, and some see polarized, and they are all different. So I'm just imagining that how it would be like if I live in for example, a mantis shrimp's body and see through its eyes, and how the world would be like. Would I still be human, temporarily living in this creature, or I will turn to the shrimp totally?
And what's your fundamental goal for for your career, or what you are
like
looking for?
I'm looking for that. Well, and well, if I achieve, I can go to the tomb, sort of thing. Like
Okay.
yeah, it's like a ultimate goal. I want to be a creator and maker of some kind. I want to be more expressive and creating stuff. Either is like a piece of art or a piece of design that, and I want my work to sort of like speak to something or speak to someone and hope that it could possibly influence some people that watched it.
Yeah, talking about that, I actually have a question for you. Like, how you define world citizen?
The world citizen. Actually, we are living in a world with fewer and fewer barriers, so it's not. I think we shouldn't be defined by our geographical location. We could appreciate our origin, our original culture, but we should embrace more ways of thinking. So what I sort of understand from my 2 years experience of living in Germany is that I start to notice many things that there's more similarity between German and Chinese than what is different. For sure, there's a lot of differences and different values between people, but there's something that is in common because we are all humans. There's something fundamental we cannot change, and there's must be some value that we all appreciate as a free human. So what's important and what's I think to becoming global citizens is to like hold strong to those common points. That's beneficial common points. Just hold them strong, and then that's what made us human. The other differences, just think of as a way that it's a difference of culture and people.
Yeah, just aware
coming
of
from
it.
yeah. Just be aware of it.
Yeah.
And definitely we should travel more to
Travel more.
and and understand and see how different the world could be.
Yeah.
And the life can be.
Yeah, possibilities, explorations.
Yeah, the possibilities. And,
Yeah. There's so many other questions I want to ask him for, but since the time was limited, so I would love to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.